Genshin Impact developer MiHoYo, or hoyoverse, has responded to a player's apparent complaint about racism and colorism in the game, telling the player the game is fiction. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Also, hit that like button. Let's get this video to the top of the YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And we have this player here, Haunted Faye, who looks like they've deleted his account as well as deleting this post. There is an archive, though, and the post was originally posted on July 12th. And he posted a message that he received from MiHoYo informing him that the game is fictional. But this is what the person posted on X. Genshin is not real. Genshin Impact. What kind of response is this when a player submits feedback about racism and colorism? Embarrassing, unprofessional behavior from a company of grown-ups and supposed mature, well-read developers. Hashtag, why are they white? Hoyo. This reaction was made in response to MiHoYo informing him this. Please be kindly reminded that Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and is not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. We do really hope for your understanding. So MiHoYo, developers of Genshin Impact, basically telling this person to pound sand regarding their complaint about racism and colorism in the game, and trying to tell the person, hey, what you're complaining about a fictional game that we are developing, and it is not related to actual people, events, groups, organizations. I mean, you literally can't make this up. We have people here just absolutely going berserk, sending complaints about racism and colorism in the game, and MiHoYo having to remind them that it is a fictional product. But this isn't out of the ordinary, right? We've seen Genshin Impact players do this over the past almost half decade. We go back to 2021, 3 years ago here. They were whining about the hilly churl monsters, claiming that they were racist because the developers referenced indigenous people and were inspired by them for the character's design. Yet this user, Venlover, posting this, hashtag boycott Genshin. I've been waiting for this moment. Did y'all know that MiHoYo used indigenous people as reference for hilly churls? They're not even hiding it. So obviously taking issue with the design of the characters. We also have this from Xinyan Loves You. Who knows if it's the same person, similar username, right? Taking issue with the character of Xinyan. And I assume this is who she is. Shared cosplay of herself, I guess. And she said, hashtag boycott Genshin. This is how your dark-skinned character should look, not 2 shades below pale, not fluctuating tones. They should have dark skin. Also, we're not exotic and scary. You can write dark-skinned characters without using colorism and racism as a big plot point. So the issue with the exotic is that's how it was translated for a character for the character description of Kaya. And this is something that this user, Eula Kisser, took issue with. Says hashtag boycott Genshin. Also, those remarks toward Kaya. Why did you call him exotic? Like, maybe because he is exotic. Like, what's wrong with calling him exotic? It's like that's a problem to be had. It's not. And then in 2022, X user It's Sunpie took issue with the company after it revealed the character of Candace. This user wrote, "You're scared of having black people in your game." I think we had a number of other people taking issue with the character. Hamsteroni1 wrote this. As they should, hoyoverse needs to be held accountable, taking inspiration from historical figures and whitewashing them to benefit their game, then completely ignoring their players is blatant disrespect. Grow up. We had this user, Folaco or Fola Cosplays, I guess, called the entire Genshin Impact community racist. The user wrote this. This is why I've had difficulty standing Genshin Impact. The community itself is quite racist, and the brand themselves are legit pushing it by whitewashing historical black figure. Everyone commenting to literally have no PFP of themselves, be racist with your chest. So obviously taking issue with this character of Candace here and how she was designed. Again, probably would give a similar response to all these people. The game is fiction and has nothing to do with what do they say here? Has nothing to do with or is not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. But they're trying to make that happen. And then more recently, we just had a petition created by this user Aventurine of Stratagems. The petition was created on change.org, and it's titled "Stop Cultural Appropriation and Whitewashing in MiHoYo Games." The petition says, "We call on MiHoYo to stop cultural appropriation and whitewashing in their games and to commit to respectful and accurate representation of all cultures. MiHoYo, a leading game development company, has repeatedly taken inspiration from indigenous cultures without proper representation and respect. In particular, the many characters from Sumeru and Natlan in Genshin Impact and from Pinakoni and Honkai Star Rail are all clearly white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception of some enemy NPCs, which has sparked concerns of racism among players and indigenous communities. Cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities. These practices not only misrepresent cultures, but also contribute to ongoing marginalization and disrespect." It then urges MiHoYo to, quote, "engage with indigenous cultural consultants." They literally want to bring in people like Sweet Baby Inc. Just absolutely insane. "Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters." Again, this is all the playbook of Sweet Baby Inc. and woke consultancy firms like them. And now there is a petition going around trying to advocate for Sweet Baby Inc. and those like them to infect this game. I think MiHoYo probably would give a similar response. The game is fiction, as does not relate. What is it? Let's go back up here again. Is not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. Also, the game is making like tens of millions of dollars every single month. I think in June, it was like $50 million. And that was just global. I think in China, it's earning even more. So I don't think that they're going to be listening to this petition, given the fact that they're raking in a ton of money. And people of all cultures, of all nationalities, of all ethnicities are able to enjoy the game and experience the worlds that they have created with Genshin Impact, with Honkai Star Rail, with Honkai, I think it was Honkai Impact 3D, I think it was like one of their first ones. And now they have Zenless Zone Zero, and all of them are making boatloads of money. They're probably the most popular games, probably the most successful games on the market out there. And it's just wild that it's all coming from MiHoYo, clearly showing or providing an example of what to do right and how to do it. But let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of Genshin Impact developers MiHoYo telling this player who's complaining about racism and colorism that their game is fictional and having to actually remind the player of that? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.